Now we talk about what's happening, with the government of Mexico. I praise the efforts of newly elected President Depaul of Mexico, who's declared war on the drug cartels, aka human smugglers. He's doing a great job. He's deployed 25,000 military personnel to take on these violent cartels who committed heinous crimes. 3 Mexican police chiefs. You've got law enforcement and government officials in Mexico that are showing up at our border patrol checkpoints seeking asylum because Mexico is in chaos right now. And I'm not kidding about it. They are at war in Mexico with what's going on. And these people that are challenging the Mexican government are also starting to challenge our government, challenge our law enforcement. There have been over 50 kidnappings of U.S. citizens this year alone along our border. And people who've been taken back into Mexico and who were held for ransom or murdered, and many of them murdered as examples of don't mess with the human smuggling drug cartels. Unfortunately, most of these people were involved in the human smuggling and tried to get out of it, or tried to get out of the drug dealing, and this was their response. Okay? I praise Calderon. We need to do the same. We need to help them. Mexico's drug cartels have long divided the border, with each controlling key cities. Over the past decade, Mexico has arrested or killed many of the gang's top leaders, creating a power vacuum and throwing lucrative drug routes up for taking. Okay? This is an AP story from this weekend. This is a PowerPoint presentation that was sent to me by law enforcement, a special task force along the border in the San Diego sector. They are deeply concerned about the over 6,000 people since 2001 who Border Patrol have apprehended along our borders who have direct ties to organizations that sponsor terror. And people tell me there's never been a terrorist caught coming across the borders. Well, we caught them coming across the northern border, we caught them coming across the southern border, and you're not getting the facts and the truth. Go to our website, NHQ. At the bottom, you can see the congressional study, the congressional report by Senator McCall out of Texas that identified 652 individuals who were terrorists. Now, you got Homeland Security Czar Michael Chertoff and others saying, well, what's the problem? We caught them. Well, wait a minute. Doesn't it sort of make you a little alarmed and concerned that you're actually catching real terrorists coming across the border? Not that the murderers and the gangbangers and the rapists and the child molesters aren't terrorists in their own right, but we have real bona fide terrorists coming across the borders. And you're being told they're not coming, and they are. And every law enforcement agency, the FBI, the State Department, the Justice Department, and everyone, and you talk to Border Patrol agents out there, get them away off the record, and they'll tell you they don't sleep very well at night, knowing about what they see coming across the borders. I'm going to warn you, this is pretty graphic, but it's the nitty-gritty graphic truth about what's going on our borders, across our border, and what's going on in Mexico right now. The domestic officer safety issues that have our law enforcement and FBI so concerned, Mexico will be the #1 country in Latin America for kidnappings, rivaling what went on in Colombia with the Colombian cartels years ago. 1,000 victims since 2005. This surpasses Colombia, which has been the world leader in kidnappings. Violence that is attributed to drug traffickers and kidnappers and human smugglers, often the same. They've been crossing in to the border in the U.S. towns, especially in Laredo and now Tijuana and San Diego. This is law enforcement, my friends. This is what they're concerned about. And this is spilling over onto our border. U.S. citizens or Mexican nationals residing in the U.S. may become vulnerable to allied abductions by kidnapping teams. Okay? This is what's going on, and you're not getting the truth. You want to argue, or we want to argue about protecting people coming across the border, and we have this kind of chaos going on. And look at this warning from law enforcement. Until a prominent U.S. citizen is abducted, meaning a government official, and assassinated like what's going on in Mexico, our elected officials are going to ignore it. And just consider these people to be expendable casualties, just collateral damage, because they're afraid of being called names, or they're being afraid about losing votes for doing what's right and protecting every one of you and every person inside the borders of the United States. There have been over 300 beheadings in the last 2 years in Mexico. Human smuggling operations, drug cartels are assassinating government officials, law enforcement, and rival gangs. They dismember people and they burn them to death. They behead them. They shoot prosecutors, local police, federal agents, even reporters have met the wrath of the drug cartels and the human smugglers for investigating their activities because there's so much to lose. Profits. Human beings are just chat. They're just something to be bought and sold. We're better than that as a nation. So-called humanitarian groups are not helping the problem by openly encouraging and assisting illegal entry by setting up water stations, presenting a false sense of security to those who travel through the desert, and blatantly showing contempt for our culture, which is based on the rule of law and an ordered society. Now, granted, in the desert, I understand that it's important and incumbent upon us and imperative to do everything we can to save lives. But these humanitarian groups, under the guise of saving lives, are systematically assisting in the violation of our laws. These are water bottles I found just back in November during our operation. There were hundreds of these bottles set up out in the desert with this phrase, "Si se puede," which means we can violate your laws. That's what that means. It's a blatant offense to you as a law-abiding U.S. citizen. Unfortunately, this young lady, her body was found just 300 feet, 300 yards from one of those humanitarian water stations. I have personally recovered the bodies of 5 individuals at those water stations who were left to die by their fellow compatriots or the smugglers and the coyotes. This young girl was 20 years old. At least her family has some resolution and some closure by getting her body back. So many don't. There's the water station put up by Humane Borders all across in Arizona, California. They provide a false sense of security. They don't save lives. They openly show blatant contempt for our rule of law, and they lead people to their deaths. We as human beings and as citizens and as a society have a sovereign, moral, and civic obligation to secure our borders and provide immigrants a safe and humane passage into the United States. We have those rights, and we should demand that they enter by our rules, because that's what supports the Founding Fathers' vision of an ordered society. What do Americans want? We're not going to accept another compromise. Not yet. What we want first is what we didn't get in 1986, the Mazzoli-Simpson Act. We want security. Unfortunately, because this social friction is growing, and remember who's creating this social friction? It's not you and I. It's our elected officials who put us and forced us into this situation. They want us arguing and bickering with each other. They want us calling names. They want us protesting in the streets. You know why? Because it lets them off the hook for fixing the problem. Simpson-Mazzoli Act of '86 was supposed to solve it. But illegal immigration has continued to increase. We were a charitable, welcoming, forgiving nation in 1986. We gave amnesty to 2 million people, with the promise that our government would secure our borders and stop this. 20 years later, we've got a mess that's beyond comprehension. And it's going to take a long time to clean it up. But the only way to fix the problem, and to stop the flood, and to stop the crime, and and to put the drug dealers, human smugglers out of operation is to totally militarize our border. The same way that Mexico has done with their southern border, the same thing that India is doing with their border, the same way that Egypt is doing with their border, and all around the world, people have realized we can't take anymore. And as I say, and I'm not being facetious, we have to do the tough, dirty, hard work to fix this problem right now, to protect this country, to protect immigrants, to protect U.S. citizens. And you know what? If that offends anybody, I know Nick talked about, sometimes exchange ideals are offensive. If it offends anybody, you have the freedom to seek counseling in this country, to ease your pain. Because America has